My ex-wife has alienated my relationship with my daughter by turning her against me. Due to any negative feelings or resentment she may have toward me, maybe using my daughter to cause me heartache and pain in retaliation. I went down to pick her up and McKinley took off running in the house and didn't come out. And then every other visitation after that, that's kind of what I've been putting up with, is Sheena withholding McKinley from me.
My dad blames my mom for everything. He thinks it's all her fault. He thinks she is brainwashing me. He likes to act like I'm some crazy, disrespectful teenager. I'm not seeing him just because I'm I'm seeing him because I'm scared of him. He talks a lot of crap on her to me, and he's not supposed to do that. My mom never ever talks badly about him. He even plays the victim in like the situation with me, and I don't understand why. He is the reason I stopped seeing him, his actions.
I don't know how any parent that loves their kids could interfere with their relationship with the other parent. And for her to do that type of a thing to me is offensive and hurtful.
Well, Cory, let me say something to you. I asked McKinley when we sat down at the beginning of this conversation why she was here. She gave me a couple of reasons. One, she said she's concerned about her sister and half-siblings that still have a relationship with you and are exposed to you, because she thinks you're not being honest with yourself about your characteristics and your personality. But I asked her, are you done with this relationship? Are you through with your relationship with him? Is this over, given what you know? And, you know, strangely enough, she said, you know, not necessarily, it depends. I mean, it depends on him. If anyone can change, anyone can come to grips, anyone can get help and modify their behavior and deal with things. It really depends on him and what he does, which surprised me given the impassioned feelings that she has. And I think what her hope is that you would take a different approach to this than what you have, and own. I'm not asking you to roll over on anything that you don't feel, but I think she's saying, you know, he plays the victim on everything, denies things that not just me, but everybody in his life, his current wife, his ex-wife, me, his sister, everybody agrees, everybody but him sees this very clearly, but he's still in denial about it. And if he's that delusional, what is the point in having a relationship with him? Because he's going to continue to delude himself and do the same thing. Let's assume that your father has made some bad decisions. Like I said, he should have known better. He should know to avoid even the appearance of impropriety.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's say that, let's go with his victim story for a minute. Okay, I'm not saying you agree with it. Let's just go with it for a minute. He is at a minimum guilty of not having good problem recognition skills, that he didn't recognize as a father and a husband and the head of a security department that going into a hotel room with two young women at any age, that's just not good problem recognition skills, that this just doesn't look good. I mean,
doesn't look good at all.
Lassie could figure this out. This doesn't take a deep thinking to figure this out. That he just didn't have good problem recognition skills. Let's just assume that's all he's guilty of. I'm not saying you believe that for 2 seconds, but let's just say that's it. He's not a victim here. He put himself in this situation. He has turned the corner of admitting that he has a rage issue, that he gets verbally abusive. He hasn't admitted being physically abusive. He has admitted that he's been abusive and aggressive with the dog, but he has admitted that he has a temper and a rage problem. He has admitted that he probably has PTSD, and I think a light bulb has at least begun to flicker over his head that we create our own experience, and that if he got chewed up and spit out by the legal system, he put himself in that situation by bad choices. These are things that he's visited upon himself. You don't own those things, and if he wants to continue to stomp through life, you know, there are ways to go through life. You can either go through kicking and screaming, or you can just say, look, I need to pull my head out and find ways that I can improve my journey. Now, he may or may not choose to improve his, but you have to give yourself permission to say, you know what, I came down here, I made myself heard, and I'm telling you, you have your whole life ahead of you, and you have to do two things. You've got to give yourself permission to be free of this toxic nature if that's what he continues to do. And say, you know what, I'm gonna learn to value myself, whether I have the kind of strength and support and validation from a healthy father or whether I don't. I'm going to choose to value myself and hold myself to high standards, whether I have his help and support in that or not. And I don't know what he's going to say or what he's going to do, but I know that you are an adult and you have a choice of saying, he's not my job. I'm my job, and I got to be my own best friend and take care of myself. And you have to be willing to do that and say, I've done what I needed to do. You've extended a huge olive branch here conditionally. And you should not have a relationship with your father until a professional tells you that step by step, a little at a time, it's healthy for you to do so. And right now, I'm telling you, it is not healthy for you to do so. That you are better off on your own.
I don't think I can have a relationship with you anymore, actually. After this whole show, you still have not taken accountability for hitting the dog in front of me and laughing at it. You haven't taken accountability for shutting me in the room, for hitting me, for starving me,
When did
for not
that
taking me to
happen?
school.
I never
Listen,
did that.
I'm just trying to say this.
And I'm defending myself to the facts.
You can't even let me speak a sentence. I'm saying you've put me through hell. I have PTSD from you. You don't see me hitting people. I get PTSD is very hard, but I think you have a lot more wrong with you than PTSD. And I don't think you're gonna I don't think you're really gonna take getting help seriously. And you're disrespecting me a lot by not even being able to acknowledge the things that you have done, that other people have seen you do. And I don't want to just kick out my dad of my life, and that hurts to do, but it's toxic for me to be with someone who's abused me and can't even admit to it, because what's stopping you from doing it again if you can't even admit to it and get help
I've
for
never
that?
been physically abusive to you or the dog.
You fit
Mom
me,
never.
you fit Cammy, you fit my mom, you gave my sister a black eye, you fit the dog.
Mom never said anything about that in the report. Okay, I was diagnosed.
The system's broken and it's hard to do that. And you, I don't get how you have such bad PTSD because you never fought in the war.
I was
you never
diagnosed
fought in the
with
war.
PTSD through a vehicle accident, and I got heat stroke down at Fort Irwin, California, on active duty. I was diagnosed in 2018. That's why I was telling Dr. Phil, when I look back, I can see now I can see what was causing my verbal anger.
I really don't know why I'm on this stage still, because I'm just hearing you lie.
Well, hey, it's me, and thank you so much for watching. And while I have you, do you have a story or a question for me? If so, trust me, I want to hear from you. Click on the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on. You just might end up right here on the show. And of course, Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little red button below. You know you want to. What are you waiting for? Do it.